All right, welcome into my trade recap for Thursday, November 13th. Now, this day I only took one single trade, making me over $4,000 on the day. And this trade were some Netflix puts, and I'm going to get into explaining it in just a second here. But Discord is now open again, so if you want to join up, it's in the description. And make sure to subscribe so you guys can see all my educational content, more videos, and all of that good stuff. But let's get into the trade recap. Okay, so for this trade today, basically what I took was a rejection at a key level on Netflix. So I was watching Netflix for a bit during market open. I was seeing us we moved down into this lower 1,155 area, and we kind of just chopped between 1,155 to 1,160. And what I wanted to initially wait for was a nice clean reject from this 164.63 area, which is what we got. And I ended up entering this trade a little bit early, but my stops were positioned closer to 117, closer to up here, 1170 area, just so that I could have more room on this trade. And I also wasn't risking as much putting my stops that high. But Netflix, for that reason being, which is why I had a not as tight of a stop loss on my position, is because Netflix gets a lot of big dollar movements on average. So I want to make sure I don't just get stopped out of my trade for it to run to my take profit, because I've had a lot of experience trading Netflix, and that is what usually happens. But anyways, so I did take this reject, and we did come down for a bit, and I actually did enter a couple contracts at this crazy wick down because it just ended up wicking into my limit order. And then we came back up, and I thought I was almost going to get stopped out here, but I ended up not getting stopped out, and we continued to my full TP target nearing 1148, which I also got lucky with because my limit price was a little bit greedy, and these wicks came out and just tapped right into my limit order. But I also want to mention as well that volume was a big key player in this trade. Once we tapped into this 165 area, we started to see a lot of sellers start to come in. And another reason why I also took this as well is because the general market today was continuing lower, as we see if we take a look at SPY, and we will remove those random drawings there. If we take a look at SPY, we were heading much lower today. If we take a look at Qs, the general market overall faced a lot of downside this morning anyways. So I knew that rejection on Netflix was going to be strong and was going to give me a high conviction play. But for the exact stats on this trade, what I did was I was risking $1,000, which is the 1% of my account, to then make 4K, which is a 1 to 4 risk to reward trade, which is really ideal, which is really great. So that is my trade for today. That is my trade recap. I've not been trading as much because conditions haven't been in my favor, just because with the government shutdown, not seeing as much volatility. Today was one of the better days that we saw a lot more volatility, which was awesome. But other than that, seriously, this past month of November, I really haven't been trading too much. And just so you guys know, that's fine. You do not need to be trading every single day. You need to be trading when the time is right, when the setup aligns, and when everything is working in your favor. There's no reason for you to be forcing trades left and right just because you want to make money or be in a trade. What is that going to do to you? That's going to just make you lose money. That'll do the exact opposite. So take it from me seriously, because I struggled with this a lot. This was something I've never been so disciplined in my life to take the least amount of trades as I'm taking right now. Because previously, I would be taking a lot more trades. And if we were trading in this type of market condition, I would try to make sense of it and take more trades and think that I'm going to end up on the right side, when in reality, I'm just going to end up in a lot of drawdown, and very sad because now I'm out and down a lot of money. But take it from me. Again, you don't need to be taking all these trades. I took one singular trade today and I made $4,000 on it. Now, obviously, You need to have size to be able to do that. You need to have capital to be able to do that. I get it. I'm not saying that it's all easy, but one day you'll be able to see that as well. But in order to get to the point where someone like me is sitting and is able to see those kind of numbers on a singular trade, you have to practice patience and discipline. You have to do it. You have to be able to sit there and not take any trades, because not being in a position while trading is still being in a position. You're saying, okay, I'm not going to take any trades. So remember that and understand it. But, anyways, this is it for my trade recap. One and done trade for this beautiful Thursday. Seriously, thank you guys so much for watching and supporting. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and I will catch you all next time.